can assure you it will be perfect. And if you practice and, you know, remember the things that I said about how to turn it into a positive, that's going to aid you. You may not be a great welder, you may be only starting out, but when you use everything to your benefit, you know, you don't have to be that good a welder, actually. You don't have to be a great welder or a really good welder. Yeah? And you'll always be presented with angles and situations and scenarios that, yeah, you know, that can actually enhance and make better your job. That's going to be a much easier weld, a weld that when you go like this afterwards, you won't even know you've put a piece in there. So no distortion, no fillers, the panel fits right. You're back to bare metal. And if you need to put, if there is any need, because you're welding, maybe you're learning or whatever, but there's only going to be microns of Bondo on there then, yeah? Now, the further back you make your joint here, guys, the repairs have been made here. That's all good, yeah? I've cleaned out behind here. I've cleaned all that face now. I've also cleaned the edge along here where we're going to be welding. Let's flush. Let's go this way. Flush, yeah? So that's the benefit of a scribe versus a marker. If you're using a marker, guys, hi guys, welcome back. So, in the last video you will have seen us cut out this whole area. It started off with like a hole the size of my finger, just my finger top. And yeah, we cut several pieces. Yeah, so this was a good piece. And finally we had to take that out as well. If you remember, we were going to leave a piece like this. We were going to leave that piece there, yeah? And I was putting my finger in the back, okay? And feeling, and I said it mostly felt good, yeah? However, now that we have it out, okay? You can see, yeah? So what you're looking for in areas like this, I did say I'd explain this, but where it's not smooth, yeah? And you'll see areas, you'll feel areas that are like pitted, okay? So I feel an area there. Now on the outside, that looks okay, yeah? But I'm sure if I press on the pitting, yeah, there, you see, it's gone through. So, yeah, another reason why it was better just to cut it out, okay, and put a whole piece in the new, yeah. So pitting, that's what you look for. You look for areas you know, that are kind of low to the touch. Yeah? And them are the areas that you look for. So that's why I go up to a panel and I go like this. Yeah? I jab it while I gibber. And that tells me then that the panel is either weak, I'll find weak spots in it, yeah? And I'll get through. There's no point in trying to restore something if you're going to leave that kind of thing behind. So, pitting, yeah? That's what you feel for and that's what you look out for. And if it's there, you're going to put this little guy through it. No problem, yeah? Good metal. I'm not going to, you know, go at it, but good metal, yeah, you will, you won't go through it. Now I've got a little toothbrush, yeah, and we're going to sweep out. Okay guys, so there's our C post, which is inside, yeah? And you can see we've got a small little hole going on right there. So I'm going to drill that out. I've hammered around it. I'm going to clean it more and we'll see where we go from there, yeah? If more holes come in it, we may have to rip it out and we have to take it one step at a time, yeah? But that's your C-post in relation to your outer skin. And there is a gap between the two of those guys. So in case you didn't know or you wondered, okay? And if we go around this side, well then, yeah, of course, that's the D-post, okay? And that's what it looks like in relation to the outer skin, yeah? And again, it does not. Yeah, it's a better shot of it there, look. Okay. So, I won't shake you around too much. And in underneath, that's what we've got going on, yeah? So you can see it's quite good, yeah? Okay, I'm going to briefly speak about the whole area now, which is approximately 9 inches by 4 inches, yeah? And how it is beneficial to us. I know, you wouldn't have thought so. We had a hole that was like the size of the top of your finger. And now we've got a hole that's 9 by 4. And I'll explain to you now why, you know, why there's benefits to this. Okay guys, so the benefits, right, of, like I said, we started with a hole this size, right? And now we've got a hole this size. And we've cut out, like I've shown you, you know, material that wasn't really making the grade. The benefits, however, right, far outweigh, okay? There's a gap, we've established that, okay? So the outer skin doesn't sit on the inner C post, nor does it on the D post, right? It's not up to it and it's not supported by it. So when we come to weld this area, guys, there's things to take into consideration. And these things will improve your welding. They will improve the finish of your work. It's never ending, the benefits, okay? And here's what I say to you. right now you can see, hopefully you can see, I'm not going to move you about, but right now I can see that that panel can move in and out quite easily, okay? And remember, it's from the last video, okay? It was spot welded just there. That's exactly where, and I've put a little mark on the paintwork there. That's where we need to be putting our plug weld, because the rest of it doesn't all sit up to the panel. But here's the features of what we've got going on here. And when I explain this to you, you'll see. If we decide, like I said, that there is flexing, okay? And it will flex. But when we get closer to this area here, this corner, there's less flex. It's not moving at all now. And if we come down here, it's not moving either. And if we press along here, it's not really moving a lot. Now, for a 1 mil panel, you know, that's good. So this is in our benefit. This is also in our benefit. Not that there's a panel behind it, but because of the corner. I've said this before, and remember this, guys. This is really important. You cannot press that panel along there, right? And because it's formed and turns the corner here, right? The lip going round for the arch, it is also strong. So when we're welding this area, the new piece in, you don't have to, it's less pressure on you as regards distortion, okay? And the same on this side. There's less pressure on you because of that corner. It stiffens it up and makes it strong. You will not press that area because of the corner. So you see, you turn the negatives into a positive here. And again, because there's a fold down here at the bottom of the sill, okay, it's spot welded. This is factory. I've checked it. It's factory finish. And then it turns up here. And because there's an arc this way, or a crown, it's stronger again. Every time I've said this, every time you put in an impression, or that's the purpose of them. So right now, that is strong along there. So if we even go lower with another cut, yes guys, lower, about maybe, let's say, a ½ inch, okay? From this fold here at the bottom, yeah? We're going to have a super strong piece of steel coming up here to us. Stronger than this. Yes, stronger than this. ½ inch up here, and we do our, which of course will be the piece that we're putting over it, right? So we know if we go 1/4 inch more down from the cut, leave it down about 1/4 or you know, 3/8 inch down, and that gets us around here, ballpark, around here, okay? And that's going to be a much easier weld, a weld that when you go like this afterwards, you won't even know you've put a piece in there. So no distortion, no fillers, the panel fits right. You're back to bare metal. And if you need to put, if there is any need, because you're welding, maybe you're learning or whatever, but there's only going to be microns of Bondo on there then, yeah? Now, the further back you make your joint here, guys, the better. In the story, yeah? Once you form your piece of metal, which is what we're going to be doing, to this radius, yeah, and it fits on there nice. Now, I'm not too interested in going back any further here, nearer this one. It's strong enough. And this will be plenty strong along the bottom. This will be strong along the side. We can go here, you know, about 1/4 inch or 6 mil, 5 or 6 mil. Now, I will also say, guys, that when I'm doing this panel, I can't see how much, but when I'm doing, let's just, sorry, I'm going to move you. Guys, if you were going to replace this panel, okay? You know, the long panel section that you get for that area of the bus. How you go about that, I will be doing some in the future. I still have 2 more bays that I'm going to be working on. But guys, and I know this is interesting for one particular person. Look, you come in there from the seam, right? And you cut all the way along, dead straight, all the way along. Okay? And the reason is because it has turned the corner, your natural corner is there. And that's where you make your cut. All the way, straight, all the way. Yeah? You can, like, you know, you get your flexi rule or whatever, yeah? Like that. And you mark it, yeah? 3 or 4 mil in on the panel. Okay? And you do the same down the other end. And that is, yeah? And then you cut your new panel maybe here, or whatever height you want to go. Yeah, always remembering that there's stuff behind panels, okay? But that's, you know, you go about 3 mil, right? 1/8 of an inch. I think 1/8 of an inch. 1/4 of an inch is 6 mil. 1/8 of an inch is 3 mil, approximately, yeah? So that's what we can do here. And it's going to be, when I put my little tacks, attack, and attack, and attack, and when I put my tacks on here, guys, and then when I polish them down, I explained that, I will explain it again on this one. That's how you do it. That's how you get it done. And it's like flush finish, no need for fillers, because you have rigidity already, because the corner is there. I can't reiterate enough, guys, how much of a benefit that is. And that's the way to do this. So it wasn't a problem that the hole got bigger and bigger and we cut more out. It really isn't a problem. What you try to do is turn it around to your advantage and say, okay, well, I've got fold there. This is a strong section because there's a fold here and it's not so far away. It's a good strong piece of, you know, and because it's folded here as well and here. And then we have a fold here. So you see where I'm going now, guys? You've got to be thinking how you can turn something into making an advantage. Yeah, that's what we're going to do now, guys. We're going to clean all this up. I'm going to drill a hole here, maybe a, I don't know, 1/2 inch hole, and build all that back in. That little hole inside here. Yeah. And I'm going to make a piece a little bit bigger. So the only vulnerable piece is this one. Okay. So you're going to watch me now just cracking on with it. I mean, this is it explained. This is the piece that you need to hear and see if ever you're going, you know, and the last video is about cutting into a panel. If you've never cut into a panel, yeah, I'll stick a link up there. I'm not sure. It'll be there. I'll do it now. Yeah. Battery. Okay, I know all that banging is probably annoying, yeah? So I'll, you can see in there, I've punched some holes. Now I've been hitting it for a while, yeah? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to weld these up, yeah? This C-post is actually stronger than, you know, the body work, okay? So 1mm versus 1.2 or 1. You know, it's definitely stronger, yeah? So, yeah. So now we've opened that up. This is really strong here, yeah? To do our, we'll be coming straight across here off of that now, yeah? So once I keep my piece, you know, all lines are square anyway off my sheet, okay? Because you cut with a square and stuff like that. You scribe your cuts and you make them square. So this line, guys, yeah, is the new line, is the finished line, and this is what we'll be welding onto now. We'll be starting at the bottom, actually, yeah? But we won't be welding it complete. We'll be tacking, yeah? So that's a finished area there now, just to take the paint off, okay? And we'll put a little scar on here, so we'll probably go back a little bit further here, okay? So that'll be the definitive length, right, of our piece. And as regards width, we'll stay over, like I said, a little bit here, about half of what we've got. We've got about an inch from here to here, yeah? So we'll go about from here to the top here, just above the top. So we have a nice, and then we'll scribe it, yeah? And massage it if it needs a little bit of massaging for the perfect fit. And you'll see how I go about it, yeah? But that's it. So that's ready. So I think we're going on to go welding now, yeah? Repair this piece in here. And I think we're good to go then as regards the patch. I'm just going to put a little spot of weld on it and polish it all up and it'll be fine, yeah? Okay, so it's, you can see it's clean. You can see the shine coming from it, yeah? So it's cleaned up, ready for neutralizer now, yeah? Just blow it all out, put my neutralizer in there, and galvafried. The repairs have been made here. That's all good, yeah? I've cleaned out behind here and took any little, you know, bit from the cut. Those small shards, okay? They're the first thing to heat up. Can you see that? That'll be the first thing to heat up when you weld. And that generates heat, believe it or not, guys. That little piece, that's going to redden really quick. And that consequently reddens the 1mm really quick. So there's another little tip. You know, get rid, if you can access, always clean the back side of the 1mm, okay, where it's going to be welded, because it doesn't help. And I don't know if you can pick this up in the camera, guys, but you can see there, look, just there, you see? I've cleaned along, and if you can see, right, it's a bit better. If you can see, we're looking for the thickness. And we're looking for that thickness to be consistent. And that's another way, another indicator of when you have enough taken out. And I can see there, it's very thin. Okay? Now it's not as thin as it appears to be in the camera at the moment, but it is actually, we're talking 0.5 of a millimeter instead of 1 millimeter. So it's half the thickness, yeah? Yeah, right there. It's about half the thickness. So, like I say, guys, I've cleaned up inside the back. That's important. And got off, you know, the little bits of cut that's left inside, because that will redden and that increases the heat. And that's the last thing you want. Yeah, you want to stay cool. Yeah, it's good to be cool. So, I've also taken off the paint here now, off of the 3mm strip. So that's ready now and prepped. I'll be making the piece next. Well, galvanified and crust. Crust first, I'll show it to you. And all this will get crust. So that's neutralized as regards, and a preventative measure as regards, you know, going forward. It's not going to rust out again. And then galvanified to just completely, you know, it's like galvanizing. Yeah. So then it's guaranteed not to rust out for another 50 years. Yeah. Okay, guys. That's the product I use to neutralize the rust, yeah? And if you can see here, just a tiny little amount. It actually, that's probably way too much, yeah? So, it's a clean container. I think we'll try that much. Yeah. Neutralizes the rust. I've spoke about this product before. Kills the rust and puts a seal. Okay. It also puts a seal. Now on top of this, I'll be putting another product. Galvo. What do you think? Is that a good job? Hey? Yeah, okay. You cold? Hey? Okay. Okay. Let's go. Come on, let's go. Let's go. Ah. I won't get anything. I won't get anything done, Buster. Yeah. Yes, yes. Come on, levels. Okay. Let's go. Okay, guys. So the second product I'll be putting on here, right, is anti-corrosion paint as well. Right? Long lasting. It's called Galvafried. Can you see that? Galvafried. Galvafried. Yeah? Steelwork, machinery, gates and railings, iron fixings, and cars. Yeah? So that's my preferred. It basically galvanizes the material. Yeah, it's Fosroc. 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 Galvafried. Yeah. I've cleaned all that face now. I've also cleaned the edge along here where we're going to be welding. Just to give you an idea, like that. Yeah, cleaning that face. And if you want to be really good at it or precise about it, get your little scribe and scrape. You saw that? Maybe you did, maybe you didn't. Scrape any paint. You can rest it on the pillow. That'll help you, yeah? Just to take away any excess paint. Because guys, when that burns, when you do your weld, it's not going to help you, yeah? Your weld is going to come back on top of you and start spitting and it won't mix right, yeah? Because it's a contaminant, okay? So we don't have to worry about this just yet, yeah, because we're going to be cutting that. You already know all that now. So we have a straight line down here. We work off of squares. Okay, so that's 260. A little 10 1/4 inches thereabouts, guys. That's what we got up to now, 10 1/4, yeah? So just short of it. So if we say about 10 1/4, yeah, that should get us down. And remember, I want to get below those two scar. There's a scar here where we drifted a little bit, so that's 10 1/8. So 10 1/4 is good, okay? That's it, 10 1/4 then. Now we want roughly. Okay, so if we said we're going down here, if you remember. So we'll go roughly halfway there. Yeah, 4 1/2. So 10 1/4 by 4 1/2, yeah? So we'll get that cut and we'll shape it for this, yeah? Okay guys, our corners are square, yeah? And we'll be working off of this side. No, we won't. We'll be working off of this side, actually. Because when we measure this, we've got 10 1/4, thereabouts. So that will do for the long ways, yeah? So, we said 4 1/2, didn't we? Yeah. The line doesn't lie, guys. Yeah, the line does not lie. Now, you could also put black marker right through that. I've shown it to you before. I've got a little V here, yeah? The scratch mark. You seen what I've been doing? The accuracy involved here is all about the next time we're using our sheet, it's square for us, yeah? Now, I can see that line, okay? But you just get your marker and you go roughly like 4 1/2 inches and you know, you draw your line there and then it's clearer to see. I've no difficulty, okay, with that line. Now, what I will be doing is I will be keeping that line. I'll stay on this side of the sheet for my cut, yeah, so that I have the line, yeah. And always, rather than waste your metal, that's exactly 4 1/2. And that's exactly on that line, 4 1/2, yeah. So that's the kind of that's how you get those big panels to fit, you know. Measure 150 times and just cut once. That's the rule. And always with your left glove on as well, guys. Both gloves if you prefer, but definitely this one, yeah. Take off those little bits, yeah. And when you drop your sheet, it's got to fall on the corner, right? Okay. Now, clean all the edges at this stage, guys, yeah? So that you're back to your 1 mil, yeah? I always do that. Because you need the 1 mil. Just the lightest little rub, yeah? You know? But you get your 1 mil then. Make sure that there's none of those little bows on it, okay? And now we'll fold it, guys, right? Let's flush. Let's go this way. Flush, yeah? So that's the benefit of a scribe versus a marker. If you're using a marker, guys, a marker is 3 millimeters wide. So if you want to start welding gaps 3 millimeters wide, which is not possible, even with 0.8 wire, we use 0.6 023 wire, yeah, at about 60 amps, and this is fit up. Now we're going to put a shape into this, and then we're going to offer it over to the bus, yeah, and see if we're okay for shape. It's going to take a little while to get the shape right, and then we'll be scribing, and again the scribe, not a marker. We'll be scribing We'll be putting that over against the piece that we left, the 3mm piece. Just in case you don't come back for the next part, guys, because I think now at this stage I'm going to have to make another part, right? And we'll be scribing around this. The proper shape will be in it first. Scribe around it, and then we cut on the inside of that line. So when we offer this up, it's going to be exact fit. That's where we're going. And the whole welding process and how to go about it so that it finishes, yeah. I'm going to have to make another video because I've spent a long time explaining a lot of detail, you know, and it's all valuable stuff. The detail is valuable, guys, you know. That's better. Okay, so we'll go about putting the shape into it now, yeah? Okay, now we can use a marker, guys, yeah? And basically all we're doing here is finding the contour, yeah? And where it's going to be, we know on the other side, we know it's 3mm, yeah? So we can guess it just like that, okay? That's the piece. Now, if we start at the bottom, roughly where it'll be, yeah? So this is where we need to put roughly. We need to concentrate our bend there. And here. And here. Okay, guys. So it's here. This region, okay? That's what we're going for. And there'll be no sharp bends in this, right? This will be relaxed, okay? Just kind of the marks are just to give us an idea. You don't need a folder for this. You could put it around a bit of pipe, okay? And we do this ever so gradual. Gradual is the secret, yeah? We're just if we overdo it, we can bend it back. But we don't want to put any square in it, if you know what I'm saying. We don't want to go too much. And having these gates about the same as each other is important as well, because otherwise, you know, always use everything to help yourself. Okay? We just want to make it that it's we'll have a look at that, yeah? Now we need a little piece, one more piece along here, yeah? Just to follow the shape. It's more relaxed up this end, remember? If we go too much, we can take it out. You can see what I'm doing, yeah? We'll see how this looks, yeah? Okay guys, it's worth bringing you off just to show you what what we've achieved in that time and how we've achieved it, okay? So you can see the 3 marks there and there, yeah? And that gives you an idea of the size of the piece. Well, you know, it's 4.5 inches by 10.25, okay? But just to show you what we've been doing here, yeah? So we're coming off the bottom, we said. Now, I know it's for the far side, yeah? But we're coming off the bottom there. Someplace around that, yeah? And that's pretty much, that's the kind of thing what we're looking for. And about 3 mil in, 1/8 of an inch there. Now you can see, look, we've overcooked it a little, just a little bit, yeah? Okay, well, we could even push that in now at this stage, and that's going to be perfect. Now that didn't take long, and that is you making a panel, guys. Okay, a simple little process, but you know, and when I push it into place over, which I can do, but I'm actually going to take it out. Good guys. Good guys. Okay, guys. I've got you a little bit closer, as close as I can get you. And you can see now that joint, okay? I haven't done anything. I've basically put this up against the corner here. Yeah? And now it's time to scribe in this panel, the cutout for this panel. The panel is the right shape, okay? So you can see that, yeah? And now all we have to do to make this panel fit perfect is scribe, okay? And that's what we're about to do now. I'm happy it's along here, so that's good enough. And if we scribe, and we stay inside that line, there's only one secret here, guys. Make sure that panel doesn't move. And there we have our scribe line. And in the bottom, okay? So we cut this out now, and we offer in our new panel, yeah? And then we go through the procedure of how and, you know, why the best place to start welding this. I've already told you about the, you know, the strength. So like I said, look at my finger and the scribe. There you go, look. It's about the same. It's that thickness, you know, off of this corner here, right? So lots of strength on the bottom. There'll be lots of strength on the side. There'll be lots of strength along here because we're welding to all of this. And it all makes sense now, yeah? I hope, you know, that all makes sense. We've very little to take off the top here. About 2 millimeters. There's nothing to take off there, really. Yeah? And there's a nice little bit along here. Maybe 1/4 of an inch by the time we get to the end. Yeah? It's a toss-up, right, whether I run the whole video for an hour, yeah, and put everything into one video, or try to do that. The last video, okay, was basically about cutting out and what happens when you make a hole, when you start to make a hole, yeah. This one, I gave lots of detail, and I continue to give the detail about how we turn the negative into a positive, right? And also, more important than anything, guys, is what you see there now, what you see done, okay? And you can get your own brand, but most people nowadays are neutralizing the metal. And I could put POR 15 in there as well, yeah? It's really unnecessary, and it's, as far as I'm concerned, okay, that, you know, I'm really happy with what the Galvafride does. Yeah, it galvanizes, and like I said, I covered it. The next one is going to be all about welding that panel yeah, into that hole, like that, yeah. So yeah, it's like I say, if I make it an hour long, a lot of the detail that I was given earlier on in this video will be skipped over. And you know, it's hard to know whether to do a half an hour video or an hour video if the information is being skipped over, if it's too long or tends to be too long. So yeah, I'm going to leave it at this, I think, guys. By the time, like I say, by the time I've edited and happy with it, you know, how it is, etc. Please like, share, subscribe. I hope you take from the tips and tricks, and I hope you come back for part 3 of actually welding it in, and I can assure you it will be perfect. And if you practice and, you know, remember the things that I said about how to turn it into a positive, that's going to aid you. You may not be a great welder, you may be only starting out, but when you use everything to your benefit, you know, you don't have to be that good a welder, actually. You don't have to be a great welder or a really good welder. Yeah? And you'll always be presented with angles and situations and scenarios that, yeah, you know, that can actually enhance and make better your job without you being maybe that good. Yeah? So, with that, guys, from me and Buster and Joe's Rose Buckets, until the next time, ciao. Okay, Bust.